So today we want to talk about the enemies of a survival or prepper group in SHTF. And the tactics and strategy used against a survival group can fall into two categories that I hardly ever see discussed on YouTube. One is the mobility kill, the other is a logistics kill. Now, if you have a group of normal people that have very little or no preparations, a logistics kill is actually pretty easy to do. On the other hand, if you have a group or a series of groups that have a lot of preparations and have some capacity to manufacture goods and food, then a logistics kill is much harder to do. So that brings us to the point. In previous videos where I talked about negotiating and fighting with other groups, we talked extensively about isolation. So when we look at isolation, what we're doing is doing a mobility kill on that group. So when we look at that, we're preventing them from being a threat to us, moving around, gathering other resources. We're fixing them. And in warfare, you don't necessarily have to move in for the kill. If you can fix the enemy so they have no way to harm you, then you can leave it at that. Now, a logistics kill against a prepared group is a long-term strategy. And the reason for this is if they can subsist on the goods they've stored and can manufacture for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, then you're talking a very long-term war of attrition by trying to do a logistics kill. In that case, it would be much preferable to do a mobility kill to prevent movement, reinforcement, and so forth. Now, one of the last things in this mix that's not discussed much is mutual assistance groups. So if you have a MAG and you have several of them and you have survival groups and they have agreements to reinforce each other, one of the crucial factors you have to look at when you're planning mobility and logistics kills is how long it takes other groups to respond and aid the group in question. So one thing to think about is very few groups have enough night vision to safely move at night. So that gives you a long period where you can isolate and put a group under fire where others cannot move to help them. So it was common during Vietnam that Special Forces base camps wouldn't receive forces to reinforce them at night. They had to wait for sunup. So a critical factor of planning is to be able to make it from sundown to sunup, because nobody wants to really move a large force at night with limited night vision. Even if you have excellent night vision and a lot of it, there are many ways to prevent you from reaching your destination. So these are things to think about. So how long and what kind of forces can mutual aid provide a group that you're in conflict with? So share your thoughts. We'll see you on the next video.